What up, Blockchain Nation? Alright, so let's just get into it. So, I've sold my entire life savings and I've invested it all in Bitcoin and Ethereum. My exact thoughts when I did this were,
oh my goodness, what have I done? The world is over, how could I?
okay, so I'm kidding. No, I did not invest my entire life savings into Bitcoin and Ethereum, although maybe I should have. But before you change the channel, what I'm about to say, or what I'm about to share, is going to be very, very useful information for you out there. So what I did do was, I invested a significant amount of my current savings or my current portfolio into Bitcoin. Now, for different people, significant amount might mean different things. Depends on where you are in life. For some people, $100 might be a significant amount. For some people, $300 might be a significant amount. For some people, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000. Depends on where you are in life, you know. So obviously, you can do, there are other things that we can all do with money. You can pay your mortgage, you can buy a new car, you can buy a new laptop, or you can just go to the casino and throw it all away, which is what it feels like sometimes when we buy some stuff. Anyways, my point is, I did do that. Recently, I invested a very interesting, what I would call a significant amount of funds into Bitcoin and into Ethereum. Now, here's why I did it. But before I say why I did it, I'll say something about the Bitcoin Ethereum space. Now, there are different schools of thought about Bitcoin. Let's specifically talk about Bitcoin. There are people who, well, there's one school of thought. There are people who believe that this whole Bitcoin thing is just a scam, is a fad that will come and go. There are people like Peter Schiff, Harry Dent, and a lot of very popular economists who are 10 times more brilliant than I am, who have their different opinions about Bitcoin. Even Warren Buffett said he called it rat turds. I thought that was funny. And Bill Gates, everybody. So not everyone, a lot of people, prominent people, think that Bitcoin is a kind of like the tulip mania or like Beanie Babies back in the 80s, that it's just a fad that is going to come and go. And now, if that is true, then the value of Bitcoin is going to be $0 in a matter of time. Now, there's a second school of thought. They are the cyberpunks, the libertarians, the free market technologists who believe that Bitcoin is a wonderful store of value, who like the fact that it's based on tech, who believe that it's the next iteration or is the internet of money. And so according to their speculations or according to what they believe, Bitcoin will probably sit around maybe $10,000 to $50,000 for a coin. That's their belief. There's another school of thought, which is number 3, that believes that Bitcoin is digital gold, is the next iteration of gold. Now, there's one time gold was what the United States dollar was backed by. And the United States dollar is the world reserve currency, and it was backed by gold in the reserves of the United States. But in 1971, Nixon took the United States dollar up to gold standard, and that's when we have fiat currencies that are just free floating. Don't let me not bore you with those details. Bottom line is, some people believe that Bitcoin is a replacement for gold. Now, if that's true, there are ever going to be more than 21 million Bitcoins, and the market capitalization of gold, that will bring the value of Bitcoin to be almost $1 million for a coin. Now, there's this fourth school of thought, which is the last one, that believes that Bitcoin will become the world reserve currency one day. They believe that eventually what happened in Germany after World War I, that the United States dollar, because it's been printed so much like toilet paper, that it eventually be devalued, and that the World Bank will have to bail out the United States, and that ultimately everybody will have to restore or converge to one global currency, and that will be Bitcoin. If that were to happen, the value of Bitcoin will probably be somewhere close to $100 million for a coin. Now, which school of thought do I subscribe to? I'm somewhere in between 2 and 3. I'm not confident that Bitcoin will become the world reserve currency, but I'm very, very confident that it might be a replacement of gold. Now, are we there yet? We're somewhere in between. I want to say this is not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. I've seen so many trends in Bitcoin. So the main reason why I'm really investing now is because historically I've seen a lot of different trends. I saw Bitcoin in 2016, of December of 2016, when it was $700 for a coin. I said, this is too expensive. Why would I buy Bitcoin for $700? Fast forward to January of 2017, it was $1,000. I said, I'll buy it when it gets back to 700. Ladies and gentlemen, it never went back to 700. It was at 2,000, 3,000. 2017, it peaked to $20,000 at the end of 2017, and then eventually bounced back to 3,000. And I remember thinking to myself, and I'm sure you've experienced that before, oh my goodness, I wish I bought it. I wish I bought it when it was lower. I wish I bought it when it was lower. People say, oh, I wish I bought it when it was 3,000. I wish I bought it when it was 6,000. People always say that. And now, in my opinion, we are at a point whereby let me look at this. It's $36,000 today for a Bitcoin. Please remember that you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying if you would decide to, this is not financial advice. Full disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Did I say this is not financial advice? It's not. But if you were to buy Bitcoin, it's 36. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy a fraction of Bitcoin, $100, $200, whatever it is that you want to buy. You can buy a fraction of Bitcoin. And in my opinion, I don't think we're going to see this kind of low again. Now, I've looked historically and said, oh, I should have bought it when it was low. I remember buying it I bought it at 3,000 in 2017. When it reached the peak at 20,000, I panicked and I sold most of my Bitcoin at that time. And look at it today. So I think I've seen historically, and because I believe that it's going to fall somewhere between my third point or the fourth point, which is that it might become digital gold or a replacement for gold. Or before we even get there, I think a lot of it might be 5 years, it might be 10 years, it might be 15 years, it might be something that my children will enjoy. But I don't want to look back years from now and say, oh, I wish I should have, which is what happens to a lot of us at a different prices. So I think this is a great time to buy. And I'm not saying you should, I'm just saying what I've done or what I'm about to do. So going over to Coinbase, and yes, this is 33,000, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. And I'm going to buy some Ethereum. I remember the time that Ethereum was $400. This is a couple of years ago for one Ether, for one coin, and now it's 2,000. That's a 5x, 500% increase. And I remember it was 12,000 mid 2017 for Bitcoin, and now it's 3 times the price. I don't think we're going to see this kind of lows again. So I guess I'll keep you updated on what it is. I know some of you might think this is absolutely insane. Why would you spend any kind of money buying Bitcoin at this valuation? But that's just my personal opinion, and I guess we'll see how it plays out. Maybe by the time you're watching it, the price of Bitcoin is 5,000 for a Bitcoin. You're probably laughing at me and going, oh, you're an idiot. Or maybe it's less, or maybe it's more. Who knows? But I guess we'll see how it goes. So no more what ifs, no more what will it have looked like. And like I said, it might not be an investment that might return in a year, because that's the problem with some of us. We want to get rich quick. Bitcoin is not a get rich quick scheme. There are people that have gotten rich on Bitcoin, I know. But maybe they bought at 3,000 and they held it to like 33,000. Hey, fantastic. But long-term store of value. If in 5, 10, 15 years it becomes, I don't know if it will become the world reserve currency. I know El Salvador has accepted it as legal tender, but I think we're very far from a lot of things will have to happen for something like Bitcoin, for Bitcoin to become world reserve currency. The dollar will have to fail. There'll have to be huge inflation. Even the SDR, which is the World Bank's reserve currency, which is a basket of currencies, will have to fail. And that would just be a whole mess. I think that would be insane. And I think the thing we should worry about at least would be what world reserve currency would probably be how to panic. But anyway, I know this is a long-winded video, but I just thought it was important that I make this. I think for me, it's a good time to invest. I'm tired of looking back and saying, oh, I could have bought at 3,000. I could have bought a lot at $700. I could have bought a lot at 12,000. And I don't think we're going to see these kind of lows again. So that's just my opinion. Well, that's all I have. So until next time, my wish for you is that you learn more about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is changing and will change the world, especially in the global finance space. And it's my personal opinion that those who get involved early will greatly impact the future. And if that's true, let's go change the world.
If you would like to create more awareness for your brand or content, or you would like to earn additional income, register now on www.cliquey.com. The more you share, the more you earn. Cliquey.